kindergartners, how are you? Did you notice that big yellow bus behind us? Yeah, it says Dresden Dragons. Yep, Dresden is the name of our school, and Dragons is the name of our mascot. A mascot means like a character or an animal that just kind of gives you a symbol for your school. Yeah, so Dragons is our mascot. Oh, the year? Yes, it says 2020. You've probably heard that year a lot, haven't you? It's been quite the year, hasn't it? Well, boys and girls, I was just thinking about coming to school and when we first started school on our iPads and what was going on. And I thought this might be a great time for us to think about where we are right now and the things that we're doing. Because every day of your life, you're growing and changing. And it might seem like right now is going to be a long time before you get tall enough to reach what you want to reach, or it might be a long time until you lose that first tooth. Now, I know, Logan, you already lost one, didn't you? And one of our other friends did too, at least one of them. Yeah, but there's things we're waiting to grow and do, but sometimes it happens before we even realize it. So we're going to make a little memory book, and it might be something your parents might want to tuck away and look at the end of the year, or maybe even quite a few years from now. Now, inside of your green folder, okay, not the old green folder, we're all done with keeping our papers in that now. We're just keeping used papers in that folder now. Out of your green folder, there's a lot of pages. Now, you won't see it when you go into the green folder right away. You have to look behind some other pages. Inside the green folder, there's a page that looks like this. And then right after that is a page that looks like this. There's not a lot on there, is it? It says, me at the beginning of kindergarten. Do you think you already know what we're going to do with that? You probably do. Oh, I like this one. This says, my handprint at the beginning of kindergarten. My name at the beginning of kindergarten. And one with a crayon on it. A cute bear right on there. This gives me an old memory when Mrs. Finkel used to teach first grade a long time ago. Every year we'd put a great big bear on the kids' desk when they came in. And it said my first day of first grade on it. That reminds me of that bear. A memory is something you think about that happened in the past. It's not happening right now. It already happened. And the last page that you need says, my favorite thing about school at the beginning of kindergarten. All right. Now, it's probably going to be easiest for you if you have a grown-up staple these together for you. Now, maybe you guys are very busy right now and your parents say, we only have time to do 1 or 2 pages. So then they might just hand you a page and give you the rest later. I'm going to staple mine together because I know myself, and sometimes I start to get papers all mixed up, and then I don't know where I want to put them. I don't know where I put them. All right, now, if we look closely, listen to the title, Blank's First Day of Kindergarten. See this blank? That's for your name. Mm-hmm. So if Ethan was doing this, he'd write Ethan right there. Yep, if I had Aubrielle's paper, she'd write Aubrielle up there. Oh, you're wondering about the apostrophe S? Well, that's the way we show people that something belongs to you. Okay, so if I was going to say this is my phone, I would call it Mrs. Finkel's phone. Yeah, think of another example. Like if you have a toy dinosaur, okay, maybe it's Benjamin's dinosaur. Right. When you hear the S on the end, that's the S. The apostrophe helps us show ownership, it's called, or belonging. I noticed that too. You're right. We already passed our first day of kindergarten. You can add the letter S on there, so it says first days of kindergarten, or you just might want to remember in your head, well, these were the first few days of kindergarten. After you write your name on there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to color the picture of the little boy and the little girl on the front. Now, it might make you think of what you wore your first day. I know it wasn't this year, but I have a polka dot dress that I like to wear on the first day of kindergarten. Maybe I did wear it this year. I can't remember. but I always wear it towards the beginning of school. I'm going to draw a polka dotted dress so that I remember what I wore right at the beginning of kindergarten this year. Yeah, maybe some of you picked out something special for that first day. Maybe because this is such a silly year, maybe you had your pajamas on the first day of kindergarten. I don't know for sure. But at any rate, you can decorate that. See how I started to decorate it? Now I'm going to show you some more, but you can come back to this later. Yeah, we're not going to rush through it, but I do want to give you some more directions. I'm going to turn to the next page. And this one says, me at the beginning of kindergarten. Do you know what a self-portrait is? It's a picture that you draw of yourself. And you know what's really fun about drawing a picture of yourself? It's fun to see if you can think of details. I know sometimes I'm not crazy about drawing a picture of myself because, I don't know, it looks kind of scary when it's all done. And then you think, do I really look like that? I don't know. But I'm going to start with a round face. So I'm going to draw a big circle. Okay, let me show you what I did. I drew a big circle there. Now you might have a box of crayons that has lots of skin color choices so that you can pick. I just have 8 crayons here, so I'm going to use a brown for my face today. Now I do have a blue, and I know that my eyes are blue. So next I'm going to draw my eyes. Everybody has 2 eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to make the center of my eyes. And I'm going to make my eyelashes big. I'm going to pretend like I got to go get my eyelashes done. And I'm going to put some long eyelashes on there. Yeah, it's up to you how long you make your eyelashes. Maybe you're a person who has big eyelashes, so you do big eyelashes. Maybe you don't. So you don't do as big of eyelashes. I'm going to put some eyebrows. You know what eyebrows are? They're these things up here. They help from getting dust in your eyes. Yep, it helps keep sweat from rolling in your eyes. They're actually very handy. They really can help us out. All right, so I've got my eyes and my eyebrows. Now it's time for the nose. I think noses are super tricky. People have different tricks for making noses. Never did too well with drawing noses. So I'm just going to draw like kind of a slant and a curve, kind of like that. Sometimes when people draw noses, they put like a little upside down U. Yep. Some people draw like 2 parallel lines and then kind of go out a little bit. There's different techniques for that. Right now, oh boy, I think I did. I grabbed my bag or box of crayons that's missing the red. Boy, I really want to have red lipstick on in this picture, but well, okay, for right now I'll just draw it black and maybe I can add it in later. I'm going to try and draw my lips here, and I want to make sure it's a smile. Yeah, so I kind of have smiley lips there, and I'll have to add the red later. You might want, you might just make a great big smile. Some people are going to do that. Some people might have their mouth open if it's someone who just lost a tooth, and you might show a missing tooth in there. That would be fun. Now I'm going to think about my hair. For you, you're probably going to have a little easier time with your hair because your hair probably doesn't change colors, does it? Well, I think today I'm going to make my hair kind of blondish or yellow. I don't know, it's not really that color, but I'm going to pretend like I had a curly hair day and that I just got it dyed so you don't see too much of the gray. I don't have a gray crayon anyways, so that way I don't feel like I'm unfairly not putting gray in it. I'm going to add a little bit of brown. Sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed, but usually your hair has a couple different colors. I made mine curly and long in this picture. Maybe you had a ponytail day towards the beginning of school, or big pigtails. I remember Lillian's braids. Yeah, those were on my mind. Some of you may have gotten a new haircut for school. Yeah, that reminds me it's time for me to get my sons, their hair needs a good haircut. All right, and then you get to choose what kind of clothing you want. Again, I'm just going to put my shoulders. Yep, it's just the top of my body. And maybe I'll draw my cross because I like to wear my cross a lot. So I'll put my necklace on. Maybe you have a necklace you want to put on. Maybe you don't wear jewelry. Maybe some buttons on your shirt. And there's the arms. All right, well, this is the start of my self-portrait. How's yours coming along? If you need more time for your self-portrait, you can go back. But I'm going to turn the page right now and talk about what comes next. Here's a fun one. This one says, my handprint at the beginning of kindergarten. Now, there's different ways to do a handprint. If you're really, really lucky, you might have paints at home, and with your parents' permission, they might say, okay, we'll paint your hand and put a handprint on there. Mrs. Finkel's not getting her paints out today, so I'm going to trace my hand instead. So, do you know that you have one hand that you're usually better at writing with? Mrs. Finkel is right-handed, so when I hold my crayon or pencil, I usually hold it with my right. When I throw a ball, I usually throw the ball with my right hand. Some of you might be left-handed. My son is left-handed. Some of you might not know for sure which hand you like to use yet, and it's probably a good idea that you start to decide. So usually whatever hand is most comfortable to you when you hold your pencil or when you throw a ball, it's usually the one you go with. Sometimes if you notice, if you get scared and you jump, whatever hand kind of comes up first is usually your best hand for writing. Yeah, you don't want to really tell your family to scare you to figure it out, but if you know how you react when you're scared, like, oh no, there's a ball coming, then that's usually the hand that you do your best writing with. So I'm going to take the other hand, my left hand, and I'm going to lay it down on the paper. Okay? Then, with my right hand, I'm going to take my crayon, and I'm going to start tracing. Trace means you go, in this case, you go around. I know when I talked about tracing alphabet letters or tracing lines, I had you go right on top of whatever we were tracing. But this time, it means we're going to go just around the edge. And I'm even touching my hand a little bit to help me keep it in the crayon in the right spot. Keep going around. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a minute. All right, so there you go. This is the outline of my hand. Now, I don't want to leave it just like that. I want to add some details to it. So, do you see the little bump on that finger? That's where Mrs. Finkel wears her wedding ring. So, I'm going to try to make a little ring to match my ring. Now, they look alike, don't they? All right, now, Mrs. Finkel likes to paint her nails, and I notice a couple of you girls like to do that too. Well, I shouldn't say I like to paint them. I like to have someone paint them for me. So I'm going to add some fancy fingernails. Now, you don't have to make fancy ones to add fingernails. Yeah, boys, I really don't think you're going to be adding anything sparkly to your nails, but you could still draw because you still have fingernails. They protect the tip of your finger. The boys, if you want to just put a little line at the top of your hand when you draw that, that will make it look like your fingernails. Okay? And maybe some of you girls just want to do it like that too, because it wasn't until Mrs. Finkel was way older that she did fancy fingernails. I had very short fingernails for most of the time. Okay, so I added my fingernails. Now, your hands won't have very many wrinkles on them, but there's going to be some lines because we bend our hands and move our hands. Mrs. Finkel's hands are a little bit older and a little more worn out. So I'm going to put some little lines on my hands. That way I'll know it's my hand and not one of your little kid hands. Those are called veins. Yeah, you might not see your veins so much, but the veins in your hand carry blood all the way to your fingertips, right? That circulates or flows through there and takes the blood to different parts of your body. And that's why sometimes you can see bumpy on there. You might not see yours too much. When you're little, your skin is a little bit healthier. It's not so thin, and you don't see those so much. But if you see that on grown-ups, yeah, that's what that is. That's just veins. I'm not going to draw those today because I'm just going to do a little less detail. There's my hand. Okay. Yeah, you could color in the rest of the hand too if you want to. Sure. All right, turning the next page. My name at the beginning of kindergarten. All right, boys and girls, here's the spot where you write your name the way you know how to write it. You don't have to worry about making it perfect. Yeah, to be honest with you, sometimes mom and dads enjoy seeing the way it looked like when you were little. Yeah, it'll probably get much neater, and then when you get older, it'll get a little bit messy again. Yeah, that's called your signature. Okay, now it's time for your favorite color at the beginning of kindergarten. For some of you, your favorite color might change. My favorite colors pretty much stayed the same my whole life. I don't remember ever liking another color. I always liked the color blue. Now, if I'm honest about it, there's so many. I don't think there's a color that I don't like. Sometimes that's my problem. I can't decide what color to use for something, so I just keep using them all. See how I'm coloring that in and then kind of leaving a spot for the wrapper? Oh, you might want to add, you want to add the little Crayola squiggles on the side? Sure, that would look fun. It's a detail. I'll go ahead and add those. If you want, you can write the name of the color on it. I'm going to write blue, B-L-U-E, B-L-U-E. That spells blue, that spells blue. Blue's the color of the sky, blue's the color of the sea. B-L-U-E, B-L-U-E. You might know a color song for your favorite color. Maybe not. Hopefully we'll get to sing some color songs together this year. All right, time to turn the page again. My coloring at the beginning of kindergarten. All right, here's what you want to do. You want to take your time and do your best. Remember how we talked about trying to use probably at least 3 colors on this page. At least. You can choose more if you'd like to. But your parents will really enjoy seeing how you color at the beginning of kindergarten. Okay. The final page says my favorite thing about school at the beginning of kindergarten. This is going to be interesting for us. It really is. Because usually when we do this, some kids might draw the school bus because they got to take their first ride on a school bus. So they're excited about that. Well, this year I can't really ride a bus, can I? At least not now. So you might think of something different. Maybe your favorite thing about kindergarten this year is maybe you set up a really great learning spot at your house. Maybe some of you have a special box that you're keeping your materials in because you got to keep them safe at home right now. Maybe some of you, I wish I could remember which one of you it was. It may have been Ethan or Nick. I can't remember. But one of you had a really cool backpack you showed me the first day that we met. And I was excited because I remembered how proud you were of that backpack. Maybe you want to draw a favorite backpack that you have. You know what I'm going to draw on mine? I'm going to draw you guys because you're my favorite part of starting school this year. All right, you start on your picture. And as we finish this up, I'm going to put on one of those songs we think about at the beginning of the school year. All right. Draw my friends. Lots of different friends. Round and round, the wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. Babies cry. No, there's no babies on the bus when we go to school, are there? No. I'm noticing that when I draw the pictures of my friends at school, how fun it is to see how different everybody is. Oops, I wish I had that red crayon. They're going to have lots of smiles. That aren't quite right. Okay. Tickets, please. Okay. All right, how did you do? Do you have your favorite thing about school? I've got a picture of some of you. I still have more to go, though. All right, boys and girls, you might want to go back and color in some of the parts that we didn't take a lot of time on. And then this is probably one of those that you might want to show mom or dad because they might want to say, that's a keeper. Let's hold on to that one. All right, boys and girls, you have fun thinking about the first days of school, and I'll have fun thinking of my memories of meeting you guys on our first days.